My beloved child, I know how heavy your heart feels right now. I know the emptiness, the silence, the quiet that sometimes seems to scream so loudly, echoing through every part of you. It's like being in a dark room, but I am the light that will guide you out. You may be wondering, why am I so alone? Why is this loneliness consuming my spirit, making each day feel heavier than the last? But let me tell you something very important today. Please don't skip this message, because what I am about to share may be the very key that turns your loneliness into the strength that will carry you through this season. You need this truth now more than ever, and I promise it will change how you see your situation. You are not alone by chance. I am here right now, using this very solitude as a bridge to draw you closer to my heart, where you will find the love you so deeply crave. I know how much you long for connection, and I want you to know that I am right here. I need you to stay with me until the very end of this message, because I want to unveil how even in this loneliness I am working for your good. If you turn away now, you may miss the truth that your heart has been longing for, the truth that will bring you the peace you are yearning for. I know it's hard. I see every tear, every sleepless night. Trust me, this loneliness is not a punishment. It's an invitation, a gentle call to discover me in ways you've never imagined. You see, my precious child, loneliness is often misunderstood. The world sees it as a burden, a curse, something to be fixed or escaped. But to me, it is a precious opportunity, a chance for you to step away from all the noise and find something deeper. It's like turning down the volume of the world so you can finally hear my voice. But what if, instead of seeing it as something to run from, you saw it as a moment that I am calling you into? Think of Jesus, who often withdrew to lonely places to pray. When he was in the wilderness for 40 days, he was alone. And yet that solitude was the place of deepest communion with me. In that solitude, he overcame temptation, he found clarity, and he prepared himself for the journey ahead. My child, I am not abandoning you in this loneliness. I am inviting you into a sacred space where we can grow closer. A place where, without the distractions and noise of the world, you can truly hear my voice and feel my presence. It's like the calm after the storm, where my presence is clearer than ever. This loneliness is not a void. It is a sacred space for us, a quiet place where I am waiting to show you that my love is enough, that my love is everything. Have you ever noticed that when the world quiets down, when the distractions fall away, there is suddenly room for something deeper, room for the kind of peace that goes beyond understanding? That's what I want for you, depth. I know the longing you have for connection, for someone to understand you completely. This desire is natural, and I understand it better than anyone. And that's why I've brought you here, into this quiet moment, where I am all that you have. It is here that you will find that I am not only enough, but more than you could ever imagine. Remember the prophet Elijah? After his great victory on Mount Carmel, he found himself alone, feeling isolated and ready to give up. He thought he was the only one left, and he despaired. But it was in that solitude, in that wilderness, that I came to him, not in the fire, not in the wind, not in the earthquake, but in a gentle whisper. I know you are longing for connection, and sometimes it feels like my voice is hard to hear, but know that I am speaking, even if it's in whispers, and I am right here beside you. But my beloved, it is in the stillness, in the quiet moments where nothing else seems to make sense, that my whisper will reach your heart most deeply, gently reminding you that you are seen, known, and loved. Maybe you feel like loneliness is something you must fix, something that needs to be filled with people or noise. But what if instead of filling it, you allowed it to open you up to me? In the Bible, you see time and time again how I used seasons of isolation to prepare my children for their greatest purposes. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before he was ready to lead my people out of Egypt. It may feel like a long journey, but every moment has a purpose in preparing you for what's to come. David was alone tending sheep when I called him to be king. Even Paul spent years in solitude after his encounter with Jesus, being shaped and molded before he began his ministry. Loneliness is not wasted time, it is sacred preparation. I am shaping you in this quiet. I am refining every part of your heart and teaching you to depend on me in a way you never have before. This solitude is me loving you, teaching you that my presence will always be enough. Even when it feels like no one else is there, I am here, holding you close. You might be wondering, why does it have to hurt so much? My child, I know the ache of loneliness can feel unbearable at times. It can feel like a deep emptiness that nothing seems to fill. But what if I told you that this emptiness is making room for something greater? When you feel alone, you are being given an opportunity to learn to rely on me in a way that goes beyond words, beyond feelings, beyond anything you have known before. This loneliness is not here to break you. It is here to build your faith stronger than ever before. It's here to show you that even when everything else falls away, I remain. I am your constant, your steady anchor when the storms rage. I am the lighthouse that will always guide you home, no matter how dark it gets. I am your constant, your anchor, your unshakable foundation. Do you remember the story of Jacob? He was left alone one night, wrestling with his fears, his past, and his mistakes. In that loneliness, I came to him, and he wrestled with me until the break of dawn. And by the end of that night, Jacob was transformed. No longer just Jacob, but Israel, the one who wrestles with God and prevails. Loneliness can be like that wrestling match. It's uncomfortable, it's exhausting, and yet it holds the power to transform you completely. And through this wrestling, you will come out stronger, with a deeper understanding of who I am. In this wrestling, I am giving you a new strength, a new purpose, and a deeper understanding of my unending love for you. I am using this time to change you, to mold you, to give you a new name and a new purpose. You may feel alone, but you are not abandoned. You are in the hands of the one who is making all things new. Right now, I want you to reflect on this. What is it that you are looking to fill the emptiness with? Are you searching for comfort in things that ultimately leave you feeling even more alone? Are you turning to distractions to numb the ache in your heart? I want you to let go of those things. I want you to bring your loneliness to me. Lay it at my feet, my child. Let me take your loneliness, your heartache, and turn it into something beautiful, something that brings light, hope, and meaning to your life. You don't have to carry this alone anymore. I am here to lift you up. Let me be the one who fills the empty places in your heart, the one who comforts you like no one else can. I know it's not easy. I know the silence can feel deafening, and there are moments when the weight feels like too much to bear. But my child, I am with you in the silence. I am with you in the emptiness, and I am enough for you. If you are still listening, I want you to do something brave today. I want you to take a step towards trusting me more deeply. If this message is touching your heart, if you are ready to let me turn your loneliness into something beautiful, I invite you to subscribe. By subscribing, you are taking a step of faith to stay connected to my words, to my love, to my guidance each day. Let this be your act of trust, your way of saying, Lord, I will follow you, even in the loneliness. Think of Mary, the mother of Jesus. When the angel came to her, she was alone. She received the news that would change her life and the life of the whole world in solitude. She could have been overwhelmed by fear, by the sheer weight of what was being asked of her, by the uncertainty of what it meant for her future. And yet, she chose to trust, and that trust changed everything. But instead, she said, "Let it be to me according to your word." In her loneliness, she chose to trust me, and through her trust, salvation came into the world. My child, your loneliness has the potential to birth something extraordinary if you will only trust me with it. It may feel like you are alone, but I am with you, and I am doing something in you that will bring light to others. Maybe you feel like the people around you don't understand, like they can't see the real you. Maybe you feel invisible, like no one truly sees you or knows the depth of the struggles you're facing, the weight of the loneliness you carry. But I see you. I know you. I know every fear, every tear, every longing of your heart. You are not invisible to me, and every cry of your heart matters. And I am here inviting you into a deeper relationship with me. I am inviting you to let go of the need to be understood by everyone else, and instead rest in the unshakable truth that you are fully known and fully loved by me, just as you are. There is nothing you need to prove to me. I love you exactly as you are. Loneliness can be a doorway to the most profound intimacy with me, if you will let it be. I'm not asking you to enjoy the loneliness, my child, but I am asking you to embrace it as a season of growth, a sacred time for you to draw nearer to my heart and truly know the depth of my love for you. Paul wrote that he had learned the secret of being content in every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. That secret was me. It was my presence that gave him the strength to endure anything, to find joy even in the midst of suffering. My child, I want you to know that the secret to enduring this loneliness, to finding peace even here, is my presence. My presence is like a warm blanket on a cold night, wrapping around you and bringing you peace. I am with you. I am for you. And I am using this time to strengthen your faith, to teach you to rely on me in a way that nothing else can. This loneliness is not the end. It is the beginning of a deeper, richer, more beautiful journey with me. What feels like an ending is often the beginning of something far more beautiful than you could have imagined. If this message has touched your heart, if you are ready to embrace this season of loneliness as a time of growth, I invite you to comment below. I trust you in my solitude. Let this be your declaration today, a statement of faith, a step towards surrender. Share this message with your family and friends so that they too can be encouraged to trust in my guidance, even in seasons of loneliness. Together, let's grow in faith. Let's learn to see loneliness not as a punishment, but as a place of transformation, of intimacy with me. Let's walk this journey together, one step at a time, trusting that I am always leading you towards something greater. My beloved child, you are not alone. I am with you in every moment of this journey. This loneliness is not here to defeat you. It is here to draw you closer to me. Trust me with your heart, with your fears, with every ounce of your loneliness. Let me be your comfort, your refuge, your strength, your safe place where you can rest even when the world feels too heavy to carry. You don't have to face this alone. I am here, and I will never leave you. I promise you there is beauty waiting to be found here, and there is purpose even in this. Hold on to me, for I am holding on to you. Together we will turn this loneliness into something beautiful, something sacred, something that brings you closer to my heart. Trust me, my child. You are never alone.